Hello, everyone. Once again, this is Dare to Speak, and I want to share with you a story of something that I remembered back in the day with some of the people that I grew up with that were members of the Latin Kings. This was something that happened during that year when I was in middle school. There was an area where me and some people that I knew, a few friends of mine, and just about all the Latin Kings and the Junior Kings would hang out. There was an area on Mitchell Street between Goldman's and Walworth. There was a gap, this one open area, which became like a regular hangout after school. And they were mostly there all the time, or almost all the time. And of course, I knew a lot of them. I knew a lot of the kings, a lot of the junior kings and stuff like that. So I was always cool with them. And the thing about it is, when you witness something, especially a crime that involves them, you don't say anything. You just basically keep your mouth shut. Especially in the hood, you don't say shit in the hood. You don't talk to cops about what you just saw, especially if it involves the people that you know. I mean, there's retaliation. There's a bunch of other things. There was just one time. It was during the winter. I was there at the regular hangout. A lot of the kids from the school were there, and of course, the kings, Latin kings that I grew up with were there, and the junior kings. And everybody was throwing snowballs, having fun, and doing whatever. And during the middle of it all, when the snowballs are being thrown, it hit this one car, and it pissed off this one guy, this one white dude. And he came out of the car and he cussed him out and said, "Hey, stop throwing the snowballs. What the fuck's wrong with you?" And that, whatever he said. And of course, just out of spite, they threw more snowballs at his car. He closed the door, all pissed off. They're throwing more snowballs, hitting the windshield, hitting the back of the car, the back window and stuff like that. So he hit the car in reverse. He slammed it in reverse and just floored it in hopes of hitting a few of them. And the guy was really fucking pissed. He tried hitting them and tried to running them over with a car. And then he just throwing more snowballs at him. He tried doing it again. This time coming forward. He missed him. And some of the people there that were with me, they started laughing because he couldn't hit them and they were throwing snowballs at the car. He made the mistake of coming out and trying to stab one of them with a knife. Because that's how pissed off he was. And then there was about maybe 30 to 35 of them. And they all just ganged up on him and just beat the shit out of him. His girlfriend came out, started screaming and panicking, and she just ran into the crowd trying to break it up. And then there was some commotion going on, and then they were just cussing at each other, and she was telling them to let him go. They wouldn't let him go because of the fact that he had a knife and he tried to stab some of them. So an altercation came by. They started arguing. And then during the whole argument, which lasted about 10, 15, maybe 30 seconds or something like that, they started punching on her. They started beating her up, punching her in the side of the face and the head. So both of them got their asses kicked. And they really did a number on them, big time. And I just saw how how stupid they just took how they took it too far. They didn't need to do that. They just took it way too far. And here I am, I was a teenager. I was a minor, and I was just watching all this, and then I just noticed how a couple of other people were just saying, "Dang, those motherfuckers are getting their ass kicked," and they're and this and that. And like, it was like an exciting thing to see. And I'm like, "What the fuck's wrong with you?" I just kept quiet, and I just saw the whole thing. And then I heard the sirens. Everybody heard the sirens of the cops. So when that happened, everybody just scattered. All the Latin Kings, they just took off running, and everybody else started running. Nobody wanted to stay there. Obviously, I left too, and I was as I was going, I saw the guy laid out on the floor, all bloodied, knocked out, and the girl crying. Her face and it was all bloodied, and her the side of her head was messed up, and this and that, because she was kicked in the center of the head. And as I was running away, and I saw the squad cars come at a distance. And of course, I never was gonna say anything about it. But ever since then, there was more cops patrolling that area and just trying to find out any information. A part of me kind of regretted, in a sense, of not saying anything because of what happened to them. But another side of me was saying, no, you did right, because if you would have snitched, they would have eventually found out. They would have came after you. You would have to be watching your back 24/7. It's not worth it. So I listened to that side instead. Even though what that guy did was stupid, coming after one of them with a knife. I mean, you don't do that. Okay, yeah, they're punks. Just take off. Just leave. Just get the fuck out of there. You should have known better than to just come at them with a knife, knowing that they got like 30 to 35 of their friends. They're gonna end up beating the fuck out of you just for doing that. Come on. And that's just one stupid guy. But at the same time, even though I could understand why it happened, they didn't need to beat them up to that degree. But being street thugs and being punks as they were, they didn't care. Even if he died, he ended up being beaten to death. He wouldn't care. So I'm just letting you know that how stupid some people can be. I mean, he did wrong, yes, but that doesn't justify him being either almost beaten to death, or if he did die, I don't even know. So that was something that I remembered when I was a teenager. I was in my mid-teens, and this is from 1987. And majority of the kids that beat them up were junior kings, JKs they call them, and I knew a lot of them, and that's kind of one of the reasons why, even before that happened, even that was kind of the reasons why I didn't want to really hang out with them or be friends with them, the kind of thing. And then, like I said before in that other video that I did earlier, I saw how a lot of them ended up in juvie. A few of them got killed. And some of them, when they grow older, they ended up in jail. I mean, it's really stupid. And I'm pretty sure they have no knowledge of the 1950s Latin Kings and early 60s Latin Kings, which they were completely different, a more positive social group. They were not even a fucking gang back then. They're just, I never saw a bunch of sorry-ass, ignorant motherfuckers in my life. I couldn't condone what they did, and I couldn't necessarily find it funny, as some of the kids there saw it funny, and it was really stupid. So, drop a comment, any questions or whatever, just let me know. And it'd be kind of weird if somebody from that time period that knew me very well says, "Yeah, I remember that day." Yeah, that dude, and whatever they start talking about it, I'll be kind of weird. But yeah, drop a comment, let me know, and if you like this video, thumbs up, and please subscribe. You know, I would really appreciate it. Of course, you don't have to, but and again to all of you, take care.